good for you. I'm very pleased to hear that, even though they were double periods.
Too
so
much. There's too much to write about.
Right. Good. So 5 days of double period classes, 8th grade. And what did you feel when that went less well?
Okay, what I felt went well, just actually the daily reflection and the planning of the pack each day. I thought that was one of the best parts. I know that's not necessarily what went well in the classroom, but even just like looking at my film clips each day, noticing that I could have done something there, you know, think, pair, share, or had them talk in their groups even for a few seconds before they answered. Just seeing those things, and then coming to the 5th day, I felt my 5th day was amazing.
Oh, great.
In comparison to like day 1, day 3, but day 2 and day 4 went actually pretty well. But day 5, I really felt like the video clips that I came up with were really good.
Oh, good.
And I really feel like that very detailed reflection and planning that the pack requires really helped with that.
Right, and if I'm understanding you correctly, you did something that's a little unusual for the people who are completing their packs, and that's you did filming of the days leading up to the day in which you were actually planning to do. You were planning to select video clip 1 and video clip 2, or you did more filming than you actually needed to.
Sorry.
Hi, that's okay. Yeah, we'll be finished in a minute.
Not necessarily. I just, when I saw the clips, I didn't feel like they were the best that I could do.
Oh, okay.
And I really felt like I could do better.
Right.
And I think also the kids didn't really respond as well to the camera at first.
Right.
But by day 5, I think it was much better. I think they were used to it. And I felt I was more prepared for it by day 5 and what I really wanted to show in my film clips.
Right. And what did you end up showing in that day 5? Because of course I wasn't here on that particular day.
So in video clip 1, I'm doing a whole class feedback. Yeah. So basically they came up with answers in their small groups, and each group is giving me an answer so the whole class can copy notes. And that was on one of the more challenging aspects for me in planning was perspective language to use in their rewrites for that could be applied to anyone. Right. Because that was one of the scaffolds I think that they really needed in day 1 is they needed some language to help them out. Right. But each situation was so personal, I didn't know how to give them language to use. So what we ended up doing was each group was assigned one of the example perspective paragraphs is what I'm calling them. Basically it was a situation and they had to write in one person's perspective and then the other person's perspective.
Yes, actually was in your class in a day that they were doing something very similar to that.
Yeah, they were doing their own and it wasn't working out. They needed more help with it. Yeah. So what I did was take their what they wrote about.
Perspective, as I remember, the greaser. Yeah, I think that's right.
It was just their own on an unfair situation.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. After they had read the section unread. Yeah.
So what I had them do was over the course of the week they practiced other people's perspectives.
Right.
So student 1 is in a fight with student 2, or teacher sent student out. Mom and daughter argue over how often she uses her phone. Right. And I scaffolded the language, and they had to, fill in the blanks with each person's perspective. And they were super confident in it. Right. So what I had them do for video 1 was take the language, the scaffolds of each practice paragraph and transform it so anyone could use it. Right. So if the teacher said, if only the student understood that, they had to change it into if only blank understood that. So that anyone in the classroom could use it. To help them rewrite their own. Right. So it's complicated. It took me a while to figure it out, but it actually ended up going really well. Right. So in video clip 1, there's about a minute where each of the people who are supposed to speak out prepare what they're about to say. And I double check on each group. one person needed a little extra time.
Right.
So I went over, and I'm not actually in the camera at that point, but and then I end the clip actually when that person I gave extra time to responds, and she does it beautifully.
Oh,
so
nice.
It was really cool.
Right, and now I'm recalling.
And it's a little over 10 minutes.
Right, yeah, that's right. That's okay.
10:14.
Yeah, that's okay. But now I'm recalling that what we talked about as you were planning this unit is how important it would be to introduce students to not just the academic language of what it means to change perspective, but to really ground it in situations that your students were familiar with,
yes.
where they could personalize that whole notion of a change in perspective, really embedding it in their thinking before they then applied it to the progress of the novel in The Outsiders. Right. Yeah. Yes, good. So that's I think that's great, and that turned out to be, it was that work, that preparatory work, that really formed the basis of your PAC learning segment. Yeah, yes. Excellent. I think
understanding perspective.
Exactly, understanding perspective. Yeah, and I think that another reason that is a nifty idea for the PAC learning segment is that's the sort of mini lesson that could be applied to many different situations, not just the reading of novels.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
If I were to reteach it next year,
there you go.
I would. Yeah, I would want to actually. I was talking with Anne about this. Restructure the whole 8th grade year, where we start with understanding perspective. We read Outsiders, and then we read To Kill a Mockingbird, and
absolutely.
take that idea of perspective all the way through.
Right.
And just because they're both huge themes in the novel.
Oh yeah, and I think that
in both novels, I mean.
Right, and I think Outsiders is a little more accessible for 8th graders.
That's why I'd want to start
Yeah, right. Anything else that you might want to say just in closing about things that you might have wanted to do differently? As you mentioned improving every day from Monday through Friday, but more specifically, what might you have wanted to do differently as you looked over your
definitely on day one, I kind of just asked what is perspective. Someone answered point of view, and I moved on.
Right.
If I went back, I would want to find out more about what they know, either word web or some sort of post-it note sort on the board. I also thought it'd be really cool because our school really emphasizes the use of Frayer models to maybe start a Frayer model on Monday.
What is that?
It's where the word's in the middle, and then you have definition, characteristics, examples, non-examples. It's just like a vocabulary tool.
Oh, okay.
It's like just a graphic organizer with the word in those 4 categories about the word.
Right.
Just a more in-depth look at a word.
Right.
So I thought it would be cool to maybe even start one, and as our understanding of perspective grows, maybe at the end of each day keep adding on. What did we learn about it today? What did we learn about today? Okay, is this idea maybe wrong? Did we learn something? Let's cross that one out.
Right.
And just build on our understanding of perspective in a very organized sort of way.
Great. Very good. We're going to have to bring this interview to a conclusion. I'm sure you'll be very disappointed. But and you can tell me whether or not my little remote is working.
Okay.